It's hot and humid. It is so hot and humid. Why must today be the day that Mother Nature decides to make my thighs stick together and my mouth run dry? The tall, dense trees and thick shrubbery do not make my situation any better. Branches extend out into my path, forcing me to duck down or contort myself to get out of their reach. And when I least expect it, my foot catches a sturdy root and causes me to stumble. This pattern carries on as I get deeper into the forest. It gets hotter as the day passes, and the forest becomes less forgiving. I recognize this place all too well. It remained the same for the past 4 years, which is just such a minuscule amount of time compared to the millennia the flora has given to throne. I recognize this place all too well. It remained the same for the past 4 years, which is such a minuscule amount of time compared to the millennia the flora was given to grow. The wet sod squishes and stinks the same as it did when I was running through it, though I now just walk with no rush. I look around and see no one else, and I am all alone. This revelation stings my eyes and blurs the palette of greens. I hold my breath and blink away the wetness, then let go with a huff. Get a hold of yourself. I keep walking. What felt like days but was most likely just a couple of hours of stomping and shoving my own trail through the thicket, I make it to a small clearing. The bright sky opens to me. The rays of the blinding summer sun beat down onto my wide brim of my hat. I made it. I'm here. The place where my best friend left me to live without him. I have nothing to say but to let out a sigh. The long grass that reaches beyond my knees hinder my steps as I walk with eyes peeled. What was I thinking? Why am I here? What is there for me even to do? Surely someone has already come up and picked his body up, right? This is really morbid. I don't think I can stomach the pita and tabbouleh I brought for my picnic. And it's a shame. I just made it this morning. It would be a bummer if I couldn't. I choke on my own spit. I don't like this feeling that's in my chest as I see it. It's heavy and the sharpness jabs in my throat and makes my ears ring. After minutes, I can hear someone's choked sob. My eyes dart around looking for who did it. My vision blurs and once again, something wet drips off my chin. Ah, dang it, I can't do this anymore. He's right there. On the ground in front of me, the man who swore to stay by my side no matter what, lies. He looks just as perfect as he did the day he died. There is no hair out of place, his cloak is still around his shoulders, and the gaping wound in his abdomen is still there. After 4 years, Chima did not change except for the ice that was once coated his face on the left side. All I can do is walk to him and collapse on my knees and cry. I cried and cried. I cried so hard it hurt. I held his hand and I squeezed it, but the cold skin didn't squeeze my hand back. The guilt and sorrow overtakes me with no proper sentences come out of my mouth. Just jarbled, I'm sorry's and I love you's. Before I knew it, the sun set below the horizon and the moon came up. By the time I opened my eyes, the morning sun beckoned me to wake up. I spit and bat at the gnats swarming my tear-stained face, then I stare at him. The rest happens without thinking. I watch myself move like I'm watching a film. Asar is sitting up, looking around, then he goes stand. Oh my gosh. Asar is sitting up, looking around, then he goes to fetch something off to the side. Asar found a large stick. This branch becomes the tool that stabs and scrapes at the soft earth. Soon enough, Asar had dug deep enough for only his head to peek out. It seems like he is satisfied with the depth, and drags himself out. He is now filthy. He walks to Chima, then takes the brooch from his cloak and slides the fabric from off his shoulders. With all the strength he can muster, Asar picks up Chima from under his armpits and drags his corpse to the hole, only to be carefully shimmied in and covered by his cloak across his front. Asar climbs out and without a word pushes the dirt back into the hole. Pocketing the brooch, Asar grabs his bag from the ground and leaves. He treads through that same path he came in through, till he finds a road, until he treads through that same path he came in through, till he finds a road, and until he finds the town once again. I cough painfully. My throat is dry, and my limbs feel like jelly. I can finally rest, and so can he.